You're worthless, a complete waste of space. My dad's voice cut through the Thanksgiving table like a knife. 20 relatives went silent. Forks froze midair. My mom stared at her plate. My brother looked away. I was 19 years old, sitting there in my college sweatshirt, still had gravy on my plate, still thought maybe, just maybe, this dinner would be different. It wasn't. You hear me? He continued, louder now. Worthless. You'll never amount to anything. Community college dropout. Can't even hold down a part-time job at Target. You're an embarrassment to this family. I felt my face burning, tears pressing behind my eyes. 20 pairs of eyes on me, waiting to see if I'd cry, if I'd fight back, if I'd run. I did none of those things. I stood up, folded my napkin, placed it on my chair, grabbed my coat from the hook by the door, and I walked out. I was homeless that night, slept in my car in a Walmart parking lot, cried until I couldn't breathe, had $47 in my bank account and half a tank of gas. That was 8 years ago. Last week, my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer. When I did, I heard his voice, older, weaker, desperate. Megan, it's Dad. I need your help, please. What I said next changed everything. And what happened after that? He never saw coming. If you've ever been called worthless by someone who is supposed to love you, stay with me until the end. Your support means everything. And comment below if you've ever left a family dinner and never came back. Let's talk about it. Now, back to my story. My name is Megan Torres. I'm 27 now, but that Thanksgiving when I was 19, that was the night I learned exactly what my father thought of me. Let me set the scene. It was 2016, November 24th, my dad's house in Phoenix. The whole family gathered. Aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents, the works. I'd driven 3 hours from Tucson, where I was taking classes at Pima Community College, working nights at Target, barely scraping by, living in a studio apartment with 2 roommates and a bathroom that flooded every time it rained. But I'd come home, because it was Thanksgiving, because I still believed in family. My dad, Robert Torres, sat at the head of the table, 52 years old, successful contractor, big house, 3 cars, the man who'd built half the subdivisions in Phoenix. He'd always been hard on me, my whole life. Nothing I did was ever good enough. When I got A's, he asked why they weren't A+. When I made the volleyball team, he asked why I wasn't captain. When I got into Arizona State, he told me I'd probably flunk out anyway, so I didn't go to ASU. Couldn't afford it without his help. Went to community college instead, got a job, tried to make it work. That Thanksgiving, I showed up with a homemade pumpkin pie, my contribution. I'd spent my last $15 on ingredients. My dad took one look at it. Store-bought would have been better. I should have known then, should have left, but I stayed. Dinner started fine, small talk, football, politics, the usual stuff. Then my uncle asked me, "So Megan, how's school going?" "Good," I said. "I'm thinking about transferring to ASU next year, maybe study business or marketing." My dad laughed. Not a happy laugh, a mean one. "Business? You? You can't even balance your own checkbook." The table went quiet. "Dad, You what? You think you're going to be some big businesswoman? You dropped out of real college. You work at Target folding t-shirts. What business is going to hire you?" My face burned. I didn't drop out. I'm at Pima, Community College, which is basically high school with ashtrays. He took a drink. "You're 19 years old and you've accomplished nothing. Zero. Zilch." "Robert," my mom said quietly. "Not today." "Yes, today," he snapped. "She needs to hear it. She's been coasting her whole life, living in some fantasy world where she thinks she's going to be successful, but she's not. She's worthless." There it was, the word that would echo in my head for the next 8 years. Worthless. "You're a waste of space," he continued. "A drain on this family. I spent 18 years raising you, and this is what I get? A daughter who can't even figure out her own life?" My little brother Carlos was staring at his plate. My mom had tears in her eyes but said nothing. My relatives were frozen. "You want to know the truth?" My dad leaned forward. "I'm embarrassed of you. When people ask about my kids, I talk about Carlos. I don't mention you. Because what would I say? Oh yeah, Megan works at Target and goes to community college. That's humiliating. Something inside me broke. Not in a dramatic way, in a quiet, final way. I stood up. No tears, no yelling, no dramatic speech. I just walked to the door, grabbed my coat, and left. Behind me, I heard my uncle say, "Robert, that was too far." My dad's response, "She needed to hear it." I got in my car, a 1998 Honda Civic with a cracked windshield and a broken AC, started the engine, and drove away from that house. I didn't know where I was going. I just drove. I ended up at a Walmart parking lot around midnight, couldn't afford a hotel, couldn't go back to Tucson yet, didn't have enough gas. I reclined my seat, wrapped myself in my jacket, and cried, not because he'd hurt my feelings, but because I realized he meant every word. My phone buzzed. My mom, "Where are you? Come back, let's talk." I didn't respond. Carlos, "Dad's an asshole, you okay?" I texted back, "I'm fine, don't worry about me." But I wasn't fine. I was 19, homeless for the night, with $47 in my account, and a father who thought I was worthless. At 2 a.m., something shifted. I stopped crying, opened my phone, started making a list. Not a revenge list, a survival list. Get more hours at Target, apply for student loans. Find a second job, move out of that apartment, transfer to ASU. No matter what, prove him wrong. That last one wasn't about him. It was about me. The next morning, I drove back to Tucson, went straight to Target, asked my manager if I could work more hours. "How many more?" "As many as you'll give me." She looked at me, saw something in my face. "You okay?" "I'm great. I just need more hours." She gave me full time, 40 hours a week, while taking 12 credits. I picked up a second job waitressing at Denny's. Weekend overnight shifts. The worst shifts. But they paid. I moved into a cheaper studio, alone this time. It was in a bad neighborhood, but it was mine. I applied for every scholarship, every grant, every loan I could find. Filled out so many forms my hand cramped. 3 months later, I got accepted to ASU with financial aid. Not a full ride, but enough. I called my mom to tell her. She was happy, proud. Does Dad know? No, and I don't care if he does. Megan, he didn't mean, yes, he did, and that's fine. I don't need him to believe in me. That semester, I took 15 credits, worked 30 hours at Target, worked 20 hours at Denny's, slept 4 hours a night. My grades were perfect, 4.0. Not because I was naturally smart, because I was angry, and anger is a hell of a motivator. Over the next 8 years, I didn't speak to my dad, not once. My mom would call, give me updates. "Your father asks about you." "Does he?" "Well, he asks Carlos about you." Not the same thing. Carlos would text, "Dad's being weird, asking what you're up to. I think he feels bad." Good. Year 1 at ASU, I declared a major, marketing, the thing my dad had mocked. Year 2, I got an internship at a local ad agency, unpaid, but I learned everything I could. Year 3, they hired me part-time, then full-time. I dropped to part-time classes, but I kept going. Year 4, I graduated, bachelor's degree in marketing, 3.8 GPA. My mom came to the ceremony. Carlos came. My dad didn't. My mom made excuses. "He's busy with work." Sure. After graduation, the agency promoted me, junior account manager, $42,000 a year. It felt like $1 million. I moved into a real apartment, 1 bedroom, with working AC, and a bathroom that didn't flood. Year 5, I switched jobs, bigger agency, Phoenix, $60,000. I was back in the city where I'd been called worthless. But this time, I had an office, business cards, a 401k. Year 6, I met someone, David, a graphic designer, kind, supportive, everything my father wasn't. We moved in together, got a dog, started building a life. Year 7, I got headhunted by a Fortune 500 company, corporate marketing position, $95,000, plus benefits, plus stock options. I took it. My mom called when she heard. "Megan, that's amazing. Your father is going to be so proud." I don't care if he's proud. He made mistakes. He called me worthless in front of 20 people. That's not a mistake. That's a choice. Year 8. This year. I turned 27. Got promoted to senior marketing manager. $130,000 salary. I bought a house. A small one. But mine. 3 bedrooms. Nice neighborhood. A yard for the dog. I sent my mom a photo. She was thrilled. "Have you told your father?" "No." "Megan, he's your dad. He should know." "Why? So he can take credit?" "No thanks." 2 weeks after I bought the house, my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. "Hello?" "Megan, it's Dad." 8 years of silence. And now this. His voice sounded different, older, tired. None of the swagger I remembered. "Hi." I kept my voice flat. "How are you?" "Fine. What do you want?" A pause. "I heard you bought a house. Congratulations." "Thanks." Another pause. This was uncomfortable for him. Good. "Look, I'm calling because—" He trailed off, cleared his throat. "I need your help." There it was. Help with what? "The business. It's struggling. Has been for a couple years. The market crash in 2020 hit us hard. We lost contracts. Clients aren't building like they used to." I said nothing. "I'm behind on some payments. The bank is threatening to foreclose on the shop and the house. Your mother and I might lose everything." Still nothing from me. "Carlos said you're doing really well. Corporate job, good salary. I thought maybe you could help. Alone. Just temporary, until we get back on our feet." I almost laughed. Almost, but I kept it together. "How much?" $50,000. I did laugh then, short and sharp. $50,000. "I know it's a lot, but I'm desperate, Megan. I'm your father. Family helps family." "Family helps family," I repeated slowly. "That's interesting." "What's that supposed to mean?" "It means I remember the last time I saw you. Thanksgiving, 2016. You called me worthless, in front of everyone. Told me I'd never amount to anything." Silence on his end. "I was 19 years old. I had nothing. I slept in my car that night because I couldn't afford a hotel. I worked 2 jobs and went to school full-time. I ate ramen for 2 years straight. I had panic attacks in Target break rooms. And you know what kept me going? Megan. Proving you wrong. That's what. Every single day for 8 years, I thought about what you said. And I worked harder. I was too harsh that night. I know that now." "Too harsh? You destroyed me. And you didn't call to apologize. Not once in 8 years. You called because you need money. I'm sorry. Okay? I'm sorry. I was wrong about you. You've done well for yourself. I'm proud of you." "Now you're proud. Now that I'm successful. But when I was struggling, when I actually needed you, you kicked me when I was down." His voice cracked. "I made mistakes. I'm not good at this emotional stuff. But I'm your father, and I'm asking for help." "You're not asking for help. You're asking for money. There's a difference." "So you're saying no? You're going to let your mother lose her house?" And there it was. The manipulation, the guilt trip, classic Robert Torres. "Don't do that," I said, my voice hard now. "Don't put Mom in the middle. This is between you and me. Then help me, please." I took a breath, considered. 8 years I'd been building toward this moment without even knowing it. "I'll help you," I said finally. "You will?" Relief flooded his voice. "Thank you, Megan. Thank you so much. But not the way you think." "What?" "I'm not giving you $50,000, but I will help you. On my terms." "What terms?" He sounded suspicious now. "First, you're going to apologize. A real apology. Not I was too harsh. Not I made mistakes. A real, specific apology for what you said and what you did. I just apologized. No, you said sorry because you want money. That's not an apology. That's a transaction. Silence. Second, you're going to tell me exactly what's going on with the business. Numbers, debts, everything. I'm not writing a check blindly. Megan, I don't need a lecture. Then you don't need my help. Your choice. More silence. Then, fine. What else? Third, if I do help you, we do it my way. I'm not handing over cash. I'm going to look at your books, figure out what's actually wrong, maybe help you restructure. Maybe not. Depends on what I find. You want to take over my business? I want to make sure my money isn't being thrown into a black hole. If your business is failing because of bad decisions, $50,000 won't fix it. You'll be back in the same position in 6 months. I could hear him breathing hard on the other end. His pride was taking a beating. And fourth, I continued, you're going to have dinner with me, here, at my house. You and Mom. A real dinner, where you treat me like an adult, not like the worthless daughter you remember. I don't think those are my terms. Take them or leave them. A long pause. This is because of what I said that Thanksgiving. Yes, I was drunk, angry about work, taking it out on you. I know, but you still said it, and you never took it back. Until now, when you need something. So this is revenge? You want to humiliate me? No, I want you to see me, the real me, not the failure you invented in your head. If you can do that, I'll help you. If you can't, good luck with the bank. Another long pause. Then quietly, okay. Okay, what? Okay, I'll do it. Your way. Good. I'll text you a date for dinner. In the meantime, send me your financial records. All of them. I want to see what we're dealing with. Megan, that's the deal, Dad. That's the help I'm offering. Yes or no? Yes, he said, his voice defeated. Yes. Okay. Great. I'll be in touch. I hung up before he could say anything else. My hands were shaking. David looked up from his laptop. That was him? I nodded. You okay? Yeah, I think I am. 2 weeks later, my parents came to dinner. I'd spent the previous 14 days going through my dad's financial records, and it was worse than I thought. The business was hemorrhaging money, not because of the market, because of bad management. He'd taken out loans he couldn't afford, made bad bids on projects, hired too many people, bought equipment he didn't need. Classic ego-driven mistakes. The $50,000 wouldn't save him. It would just delay the inevitable. But I had a plan. The night of the dinner, I cleaned my house, made lasagna from scratch, set the table nice, put out wine. When my parents arrived, my mom hugged me tight. I'm so proud of you, Mija. This house is beautiful. My dad stood in the doorway, looking around, taking it in. Hi, Dad. Hi. He stepped inside, stiff, uncomfortable. David greeted them both, polite, friendly. Everything was painfully civil. We sat down to dinner, made small talk, the food, the weather, safe topics. Then, halfway through the meal, I set down my fork. So, I reviewed your financials. My dad's jaw tightened. And? You don't need $50,000. You need a business consultant and a reality check. Excuse me? Dad, your business is failing because you're making bad decisions, not because of bad luck. You're overbidding, undercharging. Your expenses are out of control. I've been running this business for 30 years, and you're about to run it into the ground. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to hire a business consultant, someone I know. They're going to audit your company, help you restructure, cut costs, renegotiate contracts. I don't need, yes you do, because if you don't, you'll lose everything, and I'm not giving you money to waste. My mom put her hand on his arm. Robert, listen to her. He looked at me, really looked at me, for the first time in maybe my whole life. Why are you doing this? Because you're my dad, and despite everything, I don't want you to fail. Even after what I said? Even after that. His eyes got shiny. I'm sorry, Megan. I'm really sorry. You weren't worthless. I was angry and drunk, and I was wrong. You've done more with your life than I ever gave you credit for. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. I know, I said quietly. I should have said this years ago. Yes, you should have. But you're saying it now. That counts for something. We finished dinner. I laid out the plan. The consultant would start next week. I'd cover the fees, but my dad had to do the work. He agreed. What choice did he have? As they were leaving, my dad stopped at the door. You turned out better than me, he said. You know that? I know. I'm sorry I didn't see it sooner. Me too. That was 3 months ago. The business consultant did their thing, cut expenses, renegotiated deals, got my dad back on track. He's not out of the woods yet, but he's not drowning either. He calls me now, once a week. We talk about work, life, normal things. We're not best friends, probably never will be, but we're something, which is more than we were. Last week he sent me a check, $2,000. First installment, the note said. I'm paying you back, slowly, but I'm paying you back. I framed the check, didn't cash it, put it on my office wall, not because of the money, because it meant he finally saw me. I'm Megan Torres. I'm 27 years old. 8 years ago, my father called me worthless at a Thanksgiving dinner. I left that night with nothing but $47 and a broken heart. Today, I own a house. I make 6 figures. I'm successful by any measure. But the real victory? It wasn't proving him wrong. It was proving myself right. I was never worthless. I was just surrounded by people who couldn't see my worth. And the moment I walked away from their table and started building my own, everything changed. If someone calls you worthless, remember this. Their opinion of you isn't a fact. It's a reflection of their own insecurity. And the best revenge? Living well. Building a life so good, they have no choice but to see what they almost destroyed. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world. And share in the comments, have you ever walked away from family and built something better? I love reading your stories. See you next time.